Greetings YouTube! This is the Pokemon Manic Skyfire, and I am bringing you a Pokemon 5th Generation Wi-Fi Bell video. I am playing White 2 in this one, and the battle is against Storm from the Pokemon Wi-Fi room on Zot.com. Well, mixed tier Pokemon happen to have their funnies, especially when you have Roserade, Weezing, Bronzong, Spiritomb, and Gyarados. You know, I would think Roserade would be the sleep powder one. Weezing would be the, I guess, Will-O-Wisp with max defense. Bronzong being the levitator who uses Earthquake for the fire types and possibly Stealth Rocks. Spiritomb with hidden power fighting. I found that interesting. And there was another one. I think it was like Gyarados with Dragon Dance, which, you know, I really had figured the first moves on most of these Pokemon would be setups like Dragon Dance, especially like Gyarados. But let's just show you how this battle went. I predicted Roserade to come out first, easily, so I brought in Beecher first as my lead off. He's going to switch out and bring in Gyarados. That was another one of those figuratives, but I am going to try for Flamethrower just to see what it's going to do. Now, one of my usual things when it comes down to Gyarados, and this is what I get. Most people start off first turn Dragon Dance, so I'm going to switch out. I'm going to bring in Beloit, and I do predict the Dragon Dance to come up. Now this is one of the more interesting things that I do. Usually for Beloit, I do something much different than what you see in the video. But I do go for a Thunder Wave first. Usually I would want to keep my Prankster Beloit in, but this time I was hoping the Parahax is going to do its work, but it didn't. So even with the Thunder Wave, even with the Paralyze, the Stone Edge hits, and that is a KO on Beloit, and that also gives Gyarados that +1 attack with the Moxie. But once Gyarados is paralyzed, I said that's not going to be a worry. I'm going to bring in Dayton, which is my Miss Magius, a Pokemon which you saw in a team preview on another game, but I never got to use it. You will see it now, as it does use Thunderbolt to one-hit KO the Gyarados. So, no worries about Dragon Dance affecting this team. With Hydreigon coming in, I figured it was going to use something like Dark Pulse, so what I do, I use a Nasty Plot because I figured that the only thing that can really affect that is if it was a crit, because even with the Dark Pulse, I knew I had the Culver Berry, and that's going to take the good damage, so I was waiting to use the hidden power fighting on that. Unfortunately, it switches in the Spiritomb, and that goofs up my plan already. And even worse, this thing has Sucker Punch, so that messed up things even worse. So the Sucker Punch is going to KO Dayton. I'm thinking, okay, let's do this a little bit differently. So I'm gonna bring in Henry Ruff, which is my very famous Scrafty. And I'm going to do my own Dragon Dance. So I was thinking, here comes the Will-O-Wisp. But I see a Nasty Plot. Nasty Plot? That's interesting. I never expected a Nasty Plot to be used on the Spiritomb. But then, of course, I guess that does depend on how much defenses this thing has. I am going to go for a Crunch. It is going to take it on less than hand, but it gets a defense drop. And that defense drop is really going to be interesting. You'll see why. He does use hidden power, and I'm thinking that's hidden power fighting. And I wonder, a hidden power fighting on a Spiritomb. Very funny. Very funny indeed. So I am going to go for a Crunch again. And that defense drop was just enough what I needed to KO that Spiritomb. Thank you very much for the defense drop. So now I get my own little thing of Moxie. Well, here comes Weezing, and the only other thing besides Will-O-Wisp would be Sledge Bomb. So I'm going to go for a crunch. And the same thing happens. I get a defense drop. Oh, and speaking of Will-O-Wisp, it missed. And here we go for like PHEW or whew. So with that, I am going to go for a crunch again. And this time the crunch is going to take it down to about 1%. While it goes for Sludge Bomb, I was hoping please no poison, but no poison. So here's the funny, we're both down to red, but I want to get a little bit more HP back, so I go for a Drain Punch. I already figured that Weezing was not going to really do much. I was hoping that I was going to switch into something, but I guess not. I guess it's going to use Weezing as Death Spot at that point. So what happens is I am going to KO the Weezing. And now it brings in Bronzong, and I'm thinking Earthquake or Gyro Ball or Stealth Rock was going to come up. But I am going to go for Dream Punch. It takes it down to less than half and brings me that to about 10%. Brings me about to about 35%. So much for that 35% thanks to that Gyro Ball. And Henry Ruff's gone. So I'm thinking, okay, let's get back to the old format again. There's probably only a few Pokemon left, and I think Beecher has this in the bag. And it makes it even funnier because it uses Protect first, while I just go for a Nasty Plot. Apparently. I thought I was going to use Flamethrower, but tell myself, you know what, maybe I should do a Nasty Plot, because I really didn't think that Bronzong had much besides Gyro Ball, so I just went ahead and went for the Nasty Plot with the Protect. Now, with the Flamethrower and the +2 special attack, and the stab, that is going to be a KO on the Bronzong. The next is going to be the critical point in the game of how I win. Hydreigon comes out. I know Beecher's faster. It goes for Focus Blast, and it actually hits. But you know what? I did figure that Beecher's Focus Blast seemed to be one of them, because I rarely miss Focus Blast with Beecher. The Focus Blast is going to hit with the +2 special attack and super effective. That is a KO on the Hydreigon. Roserade is next, and that's an easy tell there. With the Flamethrower, stab, ×2 special attack, super effective. That is going to be a KO on the Roserade, and that would be a good game to Storm, and my predictions worked out literally on the perfect side. Thank you, Beecher. Skyfire, see you, rate, comment, subscribe, give it a like. See you next time.